Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the show. This is part two of episode three, where I'm covering the Western Conference. You are now tuned in to Knicks and Dimes. I'm your host, Young Boezy. Please like, comment, subscribe to the page. I truly appreciate it. Um, and without further ado, because I want to keep this video a little shorter than the last one, I'm going to try to speed through this one a little more. So we're going to start up with the Western Conference, and we starting off with Golden State Warriors. All right, they done switched it up a little bit. Nemanja Bjelica, Chris Chiozza, Steph Curry, Draymond Green, Iguodala's back, Jonathan Kuminga, Damian Lee, Kevon Looney, Moses Moody, Michael Mulder, Gary Payton II, Jordan Poole, Otto Porter Jr., Klay Thompson, Juan Toscano Anderson, Andrew Wiggins, James Wiseman. Just eight, pardon me. This team, man, I love the additions of Moses Moody and Jonathan Kuminga. Jonathan Kuminga, okay, it makes sense. How did they get Moses Moody is what I was asking myself throughout the whole draft. I didn't know what was going on. But to have that and to come off the bench, and then you got Andrew Wiggins. This team is pretty much back in that top five conversation, especially if Klay Thompson is anything like we remember. This team is right back in that conversation of competing like normally. You could put them against anybody because Steph Dolo pretty much, along with some cool pieces last season, was holding it down with his 50-point games and making it tough on anybody he played. So if you got that, along with Klay Thompson, we know what Klay Thompson could do, and Draymond Green is moving the ball for both of them. You can't just focus on Steph now. It gets much more critical for them, and anybody that playing, to be honest. But moving on, we got the LA Clippers. All right, they got Nicholas Batum, Eric Bledsoe, Brendan Boston Jr., Amir Coffey, DeMarcus Cousins, Paul George, Harry Giles III, Serge Ibaka, Reggie Jackson, Keon Johnson, Luke Kennard, George King, Kawhi Leonard, Terrence Mann, Marcus Morris, Patrick Patterson, Jason Preston, Jay Scrub, Justice Winslow, Moses Wright, Avicha Zubac. This is pretty much like a running back, I love the underdog story of Jason Preston. If you don't know about that, you got to check that out. But I like him, and I think in a system with players like that, I think he'll be pretty much effective. But this is pretty much let's run it back. It just sucks that Kawhi Leonard can't be a part of it. And if he does come back, it'll probably be later in the year. But I'm not sure what's the timetable on that. But I mean, they pretty much running it back, so it's not too much to really mention on these guys. I would say with Kawhi Leonard out, it probably like a 6 to 8 seed, or playing territory kind of thing. I don't see them. It's just too much firepower on the West Side for them to not have somebody like Kawhi Leonard and still be able to deliver the same way like they would have in past seasons. But still in the Pacific Division, we got the people who share the same stadium with them, Los Angeles Lakers. Carmelo Anthony, Trevor Ariza, Joe Ayayi, Kent Bazemore, Shondae Brown, Devontae Kako, okay, I don't know, Anthony Davis, Wayne Ellington, Taylor Horton Tucker, Dwight Howard, LeBron James, DeAndre Jordan, Wes Matthews, Mccollum, Malik Monk, Kendrick Nunn, Austin Reeves, Rajon Rondo, Russell Westbrook, Wayne Zellin. I don't know how half of these people is on this team. You know, somebody's getting paid under the table. I don't know. I need to brush up my skills on as far as how the cap goes and things of this nature. I don't understand why Malik Monk is here getting less than $2 million. He didn't show what he was supposed to show or what we knew he could be, but $2 million, like, come on, like, I don't know. But the squad is packed. Is jam packed. It's the same way Brooklyn is packed. These guys are packed. And I feel like Golden State is somebody who's another packed team, on a 1 through 15 level. But as I feel like, of course, we're packed 1 through 15. But when we talking about a different, like we talking about the tier ones, I'm putting Lakers, Brooklyn, and I think I could throw Golden State in that conversation. Um, this team is just packed, and you see why everybody wants that clash between Brooklyn and um, L.A. Lakers. That is, it could be the KD and LeBron thing also, but these two teams are on paper the best two teams in the league right now. Um, but moving on, we got Phoenix Suns, who just went to the NBA Finals, but lost after being up 2 games. It's pretty harsh. So for them, it's also pretty much a running back situation, but nonetheless, we'll go through the roster. DeAndre Ayton, Devin Booker, Mikal Bridges, Jay Crowder, Langston Galloway, Chandler Hutchinson, Cameron Johnson, Frank Kaminsky, JaVale McGee, Abdel Nader, um, Chris Paul, Cam Payne, Alfred Payton, Dario Saric, Landry Shamet, Jalen Smith. So it's pretty much a running back. The new additions is pretty much, I believe, Chandler Hutchinson, McGee, and Landry Shamet. Um, but I love the core. I love Cam Johnson is probably my favorite guy on this team. His buckets are so timely. Yeah, he's just very, very effective. He always pulls up when you need him. Uh, Cuts to the basket perfectly. Shoot the outside J. Plays defense. Uh, 6'8", 210. I like the guy. Mikal Bridges, obviously. All these Villanova guys typically got that winning formula coming into the league, and it just constantly keeps proving itself between all their players. Um, they're running it back. That's pretty much what it is. I think they top 5 seed. I think they get the edge. I think I can put them over Denver. I feel like Denver is going to slide back this year. Um, all depending on Michael Porter. If Michael Porter, if there's any season, it's this season, and I feel like if he's really, really about to transcend into that next level, it's going to be this season where he's cracking that 20-point threshold. And if Michael Porter does that, then it's a different conversation. But right now, I just feel like they're over Denver. I'm putting them over Denver. Moving on, we got Sacramento Kings, which is the last team in the Pacific Division. We got Marvin Bagley, Harrison Barnes, Terrence Davis, De'Aaron Fox, Kyle Guy, Tyrese Halliburton, Mohawkless, Buddy Hield, Rashawn Holmes, Damian Jones, Louis King, Alex Lynn, uh, Chemezi Metu, Davion Mitchell, Nemius Keta, Quetta, Jemias Ramsey, Emmanuel Terry, Tristan Thompson, Robert Woodard. Like I said, I'm an underdog lover. Jemias Ramsey was somebody that I wanted. I believe it was 2 seasons ago he got drafted. Um, he's a good scorer. Hopefully, it translates to the league, and we'll see. But that was somebody I wanted, like a second round draft pick kind of thing. But we got quick, and I can't complain there. So everything worked out. Um, Davion Mitchell is on another level, man. He's if you are avid basketball play, watch someone who watches basketball, you know the nickname Off Night, and he had a thing that comes to mind is he was playing Book Night, and he gave Book Night a hard time. Um, but this team is nothing to be necessarily concerned about. I feel like this is their peak is a 9, 10 seed. Even 9 is being modest. I feel like 10 seed for a playing game. I'm not seeing too much from them. Uh, I want to see something new from Marvin Bagley. I would love to see him crack to another level because I mean, why not? He has all the intangibles that you need to start going nuts. I feel like in a perfect world, if that's the best way to put it, he's kind of up there with like the Bam Adebayos kind of guys. Like so, we'll see. Next, we got the Dallas Mavericks. Moses Brown, Sterling Brown, Jalen Brunson, Reggie Bullock, Trey Burke, Willie Cauley-Stein, Luka Doncic, uh, Dorian Finney-Smith, Josh Green, Tim Hardaway, Ferron Hunt, Carlik Jones, Maxi Kleber, Boban. Do I even need to say the last name? Boban Marjanovic, Ja'Cory McLaughlin, Nicolo Melli, Eugene Amorui, hey, Kristaps Porzingis, Dwight Powell, J.J. Redick, Tyrell Terry. I feel like this is the last year for Porzingis to show anything. This I feel like this team is pretty much what it's always been, especially the last 2, 3 seasons. It's the same thing. They just can't get over that hump. They can't get over that hump, and I don't know if it's going to be any different this year. So, and every other team is packing on. So now it's like Golden State is back. Um, Grizzlies are, moving forward. That's the team that's coming up. I don't. It's. I wouldn't be surprised if they fall out the playoffs. If they get in, it'd probably be a play-in situation again. This is definitely a play-in type squad. They just can't get over the hump. They can't get any additional players to come through and help. Um, Doncic out. I'm sure they would love for Porzingis to just show out, bring his value up, and then they'll probably trade him no matter what he was showing, just to be safe and get a different piece to help out, because that didn't really translate into what they wanted it to, and it's something I could smile at. But I don't know. The peak is playing. The highest they go is playing. There's no way they get over a 6 seed in my eyes. Houston Rockets. They got DJ Augustine, Tyler Bay, Avery Bradley, Armani Brooks, Josh Christopher, Dante Exum, Usman Garuba, Eric Gordon, Jalen Green, Daniel House Jr., Matt Hurt, Anthony Lamb, Kenyon Martin Jr., Deshaun Nix, David Nwaba, Kevin Porter Jr., Alperen Sengun, Jayshawn Tate, Daniel Theis, Kyrie Thomas, John Wall, DJ Wilson, Christian Wood. Young team, they got a lot of entertaining talent. John Wall is on his way out there looking for trade packages to get for him. Literally just reported today. So probably won't be today when you guys are seeing this video, but they got some nice talent. Alperen Sengun, Jayshawn Tate, Kenyon Martin Jr., Jalen Green, obviously, Josh Christopher. These is young dudes that can ball, and then they got some veterans like the Exums, Avery Bradley, DJ Augustine. But this is still bottom half of the West. The record probably won't look so good, even by the half mark. I'm not sure what pieces they can get for the John Wall, but at least they'll get something, maybe some picks, so they could constantly keep building. So I feel like they're just gonna keep building. I feel like I have a better sight of their what they could do moving forward than a Cleveland. I feel like they could just trade and then get some picks for Wall, and eventually, just keep running those, keep building through the draft, and then because they got a lot of pieces right now, and then after you bring your star through possibly and see how that goes. But that organization took a dip recently, and it's probably going to be a tough road back. But they're entertaining now. It's definitely going to be a lot of highlights coming out of that squad for sure, from people like Jalen Green, Josh Christopher. It's just a lot of highlights coming out of that squad. Memphis Grizzlies, Steven Adams, Santi Aldama, Kyle Anderson, Desmond Bane, Dylan Brooks, Brendan Clark, Jerry Culver, Marcus Saul, Juancho Hernan-Gomez, Jaren Jackson, Tyus Jones, John Contra, DeAnthony Melton, Sam Merrill, John Morant, Daniel Otoro, Yves Pons, Killian Tilly, Xavier Tillman, Zaire Williams. I think I think the biggest thing for them is health. Biggest thing for them is definitely health. Steven Adams, I'm not sure how I like him compared to the Valanciunas that they had. I liked Valanciunas a lot with John Morant and Jaren Jackson, although we didn't get to really see too much of him coming late. But you liked what you saw when they definitely were, especially playing games against like Lillard and stuff like that. You liked what you saw. But I do think they're headed in the right direction. John Morant just needs to be a little more confident in that jump shot. If he's more confident in that jump shot, he's easily going to crack that 20 points and probably get 8 dimes along with it. Who knows if he's the 10 dime type dude yet, but I could definitely see 7 to 8. I like Desmond Bane, strong shooter. Kyle Slomo is always going to do his thing. But I think they're headed in the right direction. It's slow, baby steps. Not necessarily going to make too much noise, but they're going to be entertaining for sure. And at least they're moving forward, And they have pieces. They have pieces. So who knows what's going to be coming out of Memphis? It's just you don't necessarily always see big stars going to Memphis. Next, we got New Orleans Pelicans. Nikhil Alexander-Walker, Jose Alvarado, Wenyen Gabriel, Devontae Graham, Josh Hart, Jackson Hayes, Willie Hernan-Gomez, Dalton Holmes, Brandon Ingram, Herbert Jones, Kyrie Lewis, Ziti Lazada, Najee Marshall, Najee Marshall, Trey Murphy, James Nunnally, Thomas Saturansky, Garrett Temple, Jonas Valanciunas, Zion Williamson. Um, I don't think anything's changed with this team. I really don't think anything's changed with this team. I like the addition of Devontae Graham. Him getting more minutes. Well, at least that's what I'm assuming on this squad. I would definitely like to see that. Um, maybe Kyra Lewis could come into his own a little more. Valanciunas is a nice pickup, but I don't know how he blends with Zion. Seeing that Zion can't necessarily step out too much unless he's at least from last season. If he comes through with that this year, then that's a different story. Will you be having him ball handling like Stan Van Gundy had him doing? That's another question for them. But I don't see too much of an improvement from this squad. So pretty much the same thing. And I don't think they're making the playoffs here. But a lot of things got to go wrong, I think, for these dudes to make the playoffs. Nonetheless, we're moving on. San Antonio, Al-Farouq Aminu, Kata Bates Diop, Zach Collins, Drew Eubanks, Bryn Forms, Keldon Johnson, Trey Jones, Jock Landale, Doug McDermott, DeJounte Murray, Jacob Podol, Joshua Primo, Lucas Semanik, Devin Vassell, Lonnie Walker, Derek White, Joe Weiskamp, Thaddeus Young. I like Thaddeus Young in this system. I think he's one of those good system players. I think he's gonna, you know, he's a little older, but he's always been productive. I think he'll thrive in a system that Popovich has. Zach Collins, I'm curious to see what that's gonna look like. Hopefully he's healthy. That's what everybody was always praying for pretty much his whole career. So uh, hopefully he's healthy. I love Doug McDermott. I feel like that's another system player. And now he's been going to the paint, even dunking on dudes. So he's definitely elevated his game, and I feel like Greg Popovich is definitely going to find more ways to implement him into that offense. And he's a system guy. He's a guy that fits into those systems where it's not an offense made for one person to shine, like the star player to shine, or it's not too much iso ball. It's we're getting everybody's moving, and it's a flow to it. And I feel like Doug McDermott and Thaddeus Young are the type of people that complement this type of playing style. People are high on Joshua Primo. They feel like it might take a little bit of time. But me personally, standouts are Lonnie Walker and Derek White. I feel like Lonnie Walker is that type of dude that if he was to go to a different squad, he's gonna kind of shine. Not like Kawhi did once he left that system vibe, but I feel like he'll shine more away from the Spurs. But I definitely like him. That's him. Derek White's definitely one of my favorite players. Definitely two of my favorite players on the squad for sure. But will it be enough to make the playoffs? I think they could be a playing contender because at the end of the day, Greg Popovich does what it does, and a lot of these dudes need to be healthy. Do I personally see them going to the playoffs? No. Um, but I feel like they'll make a little entertaining playing game. Um, but I don't see them necessarily going to the playoffs. Uh, Denver Nuggets. We got Will Barton, Bobo, Facundo Campazzo. Hopefully I said that correctly. Vlatlo Kankar, PJ Dozier, um, Aaron Gordon, Jermichael Green, Jeff Green, Shaquille Harrison, Marcus Howard, Nishan Bones Highland, Nikola Jokic, Monte Morris, Jamal Murray, Zeke Naji, Michael Porter Jr., Austin Rivers. I like Marcus Howard. I'm glad he bloomed last season. Great scorer. I believe he was leading the country. He might have been one of the leaders in scoring in general his last year at Marquette. Um, but I feel like they slid back. I I'm not really seeing what I wanted to see with Aaron Gordon on this squad. Um, I think the X factor here. Well, granted they get Jamal Murray back, so you got to give him credit for that. Jamal Murray is different, to say the least. So some beautiful things come out of that, and maybe they didn't take a step back. You gotta love a veterans coming in like Jeff Green. That's always a positive. He's productive no matter where he's at. Uh, but the X factor, obviously, is Michael Porter Jr. I think it's that time for Michael Porter Jr. to step up. Hopefully, Will Barton is healthy, but this Denver squad, I feel like they're top six, top seven. Uh, but they definitely got to get this dude to crack that 20-point threshold. He's too important, and he showed he could score, but now we need to see that as your average. Like it's got to be your average, minimum 20. You, Jokic, Murray carry this team, and maybe you guys are above Phoenix, but then again, I don't really see that because it's just they play two way, and Denver doesn't have a necessarily greatest defense. Um, Phoenix play two way, so I still don't see y'all over Phoenix. But hey, Michael X factor is Michael Porter. Where y'all go, but I feel like this is top six, top 17. I don't see y'all cracking to number five unless we're talking injuries and it's down to third. But top six, top seven, 5 through 7. Let's say that 5 through 7, and five is being modest. Minnesota Timberwolves: Malik Beasley, Patrick Beverly, Ed Davis, Anthony Edwards, Nathan Knight, Jake Layman, Jaden McDaniels, Jordan McLaughlin, Jalen Noel, Josh Okogie, Torian Prince, Nas Reed, D'Angelo Russell, Karl Anthony Towns, Jared Vanderbilt, McKinley Wright, the fourth. It's going to be another tough year for. I mean, I hope D'Angelo Russell is healthy. I think Anthony Edwards is ready. He's ready. I think his confidence was only inclining as the season went. So for D'Angelo to be healthy, hopefully he's healthy for most of the time. Same for Karl Anthony Towns and Edwards coming in. If these dudes is all healthy, it can make it for some entertaining basketball. But at the same time, this is not a playoff team still, and who knows what direction they want to go in. Um, who knows if Cat will be there longer? If this is the last year that Cat will be there, and they just start building around Anthony Edwards because you got some liable pieces, but in Cat and D'Angelo Russell, so they got a couple directions they can go. They can't just keep it the way it is, but the health has always been a problem. So hopefully that's better. I would definitely like to see them healthy and see what a healthy D'Angelo Russell and Cat could bring, let alone throwing Anthony Edwards in that mix. Um, but this is one of the lower teams in that Western Conference for sure. Not lower than like the Sacramento Kings. I think they're better than the Kings if healthy. But then again, that's debatable. But I don't know. We'll see. Thunder. We got Darius Bosley, Charlie Brown Jr., Gabriel Deck, Lu, uh, Lugens Dork. I hope I said that correctly, man. Derek Favors. Dork is a good player, man, too. My bad. Josh Giddey, uh, Shai Gilgis Alexander, Jalen Horde, Ty Jerome, Vic Krejci, Theo Maladon, Trey Mann, Mike Muscala, Alexei Pokushevsky, Jeremiah Robinson Earl, Isaiah Roby, Aaron Wiggins, Kenrich Williams. Uh, th- this might be the worst team in the Western Conference. This, yeah, I like Trey Mann. Huge fan of Shai Gilgis. Hopefully he's healthy. Josh Giddey, I'm curious to see what's up. Um, Other than that, well, Pokushevsky is cool. Lugan Stort plays. He's a baller. Not necessarily like one of them scorers, but he bring that toughness, so you like him. But this is probably the worst team in the Western Conference. Um, don't really see too much going on there. Nor do I really see the direction that they're going in. I was seeing Shai Gilgis in trade talks, I believe, at the end of the season last year, if I'm not mistaken. But I don't know. I, who knows what's going on over there in Oklahoma City? But I think that's definitely the worst team in the Western Conference on paper so far. Um, Next up, we got Portland Trailblazers. Uh, Cajun Blevins, Greg Brown III, Marquise Chris, Robert Covington, C.J. Ellaby, Rondae Hollis Jefferson, T.J. Leaf, Damian Lillard, Nazir Little, C.J. McCollum, Ben McLemore, Larry Nance Jr., Yusuf Nurkic, Norman Powell, Anthony Simons, Dennis Smith Jr., Tony Snell, Trendon Watford, and Cody Zeller. I don't I don't think this team got too much better. And many Nurkic looking like he won out. Shout out to Norman Powell for getting a new contract. Uh, I like T.J. Leaf, but a lot of things still need to be shown there. Same as Marquise Chris. Uh, Larry Nance, probably just going to bring a little bit of toughness to this team. Ben McLemore, who knows what he's going to bring? Is he going to be consistent with his? They got Cody Zeller, so it's they got a couple bigs, and C.J. Ellaby. A lot of people questioning Damian Lillard's loyalty. Why is he still staying with his team? Why not, put yourself in a better position to win? I mean, you could you could just pull up. A part of me wants Damian Lillard over so bad in New York. I, but the pieces that we would have to give away, man, I love the young pieces that we got, and I'm sure the asking price will be something legit. But a lot of people are still questioning his loyalty to this team, and I don't think they got much better. Who knows with C.J. McCollum? I feel like C.J. McCollum is slowly starting that decline now. Um, who knows what they're going to bring to the table? But I don't see them. It's another playing situation again for them, unfortunately. Um, this I feel for Dame Lillard. I feel like he should have a better chance and he should put himself in the best position. He's proved everything that he had to Portland, the Trailblazer organization. And I don't think anybody can fault him for wanting to leave at this point. from the fan base to the organization to any other players that could be with him or anybody else for that matter. Uh, I think it's time to really move on. And I don't even say that selfishly. I just think he should, because the Knicks is probably the best landing spot for him. But I think he should just put himself in a better position to win or to compete for better yet. Lastly, in the Western Conference, we got the Utah Jazz. Udoka Azubuike, Bojan Bogdanovic, Jarrell Brantley, Jared Butler, Jordan Clarkson, Mike Conley, Trent Forrest, Rudy Gay, Rudy Gobert, Elijah Hughes, Ersan Ilyasova, Joe Ingles, Donovan Mitchell, Royce O'Neal, uh, Mie Oni, Eric Pascal, Mccollum Teague, Hassan Whiteside. I thought coming into the season 2021 they did work. This year, Atlanta did work, and they're like one of the smaller market teams. So for them to always be able to put pieces around their players like this is phenomenal. You know, to keep Conley, that's dope. Rudy Gay coming over is just ridiculous. Um, uh, Eric Pascal, it's a great piece to have coming off your bench. Um, Hassan Whiteside, man, like come on now. You got Rudy Gobert and then Rudy sitting down and Whiteside comes in. It's like if they could really get him to play, like really, really put an effort in and really, really play, this team could be dangerous. Like dangerous. They could easily probably be the 1 seed again, 1 or 2 seed. I think this is a 1 to 3 seed team. Um, but my favorite pickup here is Jared Butler. I love Jared Butler on this squad, man. I love Jared Butler on this squad. I think Jared Butler with Jordan Clarkson is just dope. I think they complement each other great. Jordan Clarkson ain't the craziest defender, but at the same time, Jared plays defense, and on offense, they both do work. So I love Jared Butler on this squad. That is probably my favorite pickup on this team. But I love Rudy Gay also coming off that bench. So it could probably be Jared Butler, Jordan Clarkson, Rudy Gay, Eric Pascal, and Whiteside. Man, that's a crazy bench. Um, this is definitely a 1 to 3 seed team with ease to me. I think a lot of things got to go wrong for that to not come into fruition. But then again, um, you can't count out a team like Golden State. I feel like if Golden State really gets it and they're clicking immediately, that's the stuff that's detrimental to these teams that's normally supposed to be in that 1 to 3. Um, but in the Western Conference, I think as far as from uh, 1 to play in, I think we got Golden State, Lakers, Phoenix, uh, Memphis, Denver, Portland, Utah Jazz, Nuggets, and Clippers. I think that is the 1 through 10. I don't, Sacramento, Dallas, Houston, San Antonio, Minnesota, Oklahoma City Thunder. I feel like that's the teams that's going to be falling behind this year. I don't see Dallas doing anything. They done been at that same spot too many years in a row. Can't get over that hump. And other teams is getting better, and they've been staying the same. So I don't see uh, Dallas Mavericks necessarily cracking it. But man, Luka, he could easily probably be a scoring leader in the NBA. Like that's how much he holds this team down. He could be a scoring leader, but I don't see Dallas cracking it this year. I think this year they fall out of the playoffs. I really don't see it. But there you have it. You guys got my input on the Western Conference. This is Knicks and Dimes. This is the Dime season segment, part 2 of episode 3. Western Conference. Like, comment, subscribe. Thank you for checking in with me, man. I really appreciate it. And I'll catch y'all on the next one. Love, gratitude, positive attitude. You know how we rocking.